What up, peeps? I'm back. It took us literally 3 months. We haven't done videos for the past 3 months, but it's the start of a new school year, and here we go. So today in class we learned about the topics. So if you were absent, write this down on your notebook, okay? If you were not absent but you were confused, copy these down still on your notebook. So hopefully through this, you're going to be able to understand everything we learned today in class. So our topic for today was terminating decimals to fractions. Okay, so that was our topic. So the first lessons in class or of the 8th grade school year was converting fractions to decimals. Now we're going to go backwards in terms of I'm going to give you a decimal, and what you need to do is basically convert it into a fraction. Before we move on to the actual problems, let's go over some background knowledge, something that you really need to know before we even start this. Okay? Now, for example, what I mean by what we're learning today is this. I could ask you, okay, convert 2.4 or 2 4/10 into a fraction. That's what we're learning, okay? Converting these decimals, specifically they're terminating. That means they end. That's what terminating decimal is. Repeating decimals look like this, okay, with the little repeating symbol at the top. But we're not going to go over repeating decimals today. We're just focusing primarily on terminating decimals. So before we even start the lesson, let's go over what you need is to know is the concept of place values. You learn place values in elementary school. So for example, let me give you this one. I'm making this up. Okay, there it is, 3,214.567. The way I said it is totally wrong, okay? But for our sake, we're just reviewing place value. So hopefully you remembered that this 4 is in the ones place, this 1 is in the hundreds place, this 2 is in the, I'm sorry, I did it wrong. Ones, this is on the tens, this is on the hundreds, and this 3 is on the thousands place, okay? Now, after the decimal, we have, this is the most important one, the tenths place, The 6 is on the hundredths place, and then the 7 is on the thousandths place. Remember those place values. If you remember your place values, you're going to be able to solve any single one of these problems I'm going to throw at you. So here we go. Let's start off with the first problem. So problem number 1. We have 0.12. Okay? So that's our first problem. Write it down on your notebook. If you were absent, specifically write it down. So what we do here is we just look at the last digit. Okay? The last digit in this number is a 2. What place value is a 2 in? Okay? If I remember correctly, the way I taught you before is this first digit is on the tenths place. This digit right here is going to be on the hundredths place. Super easy. This is what you do. You grab a number, 12, and you said it's hundredths, 12 hundredths. So we put it over 100. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's your answer. But what you need to do is you need to be able to reduce that fraction, okay? For me, this is okay, but I want you to reduce it as much as you can. And this is where a couple of you guys were having trouble in today in the lesson, okay? So the numbers that I always use to reduce is 2 and 5. 2 and 5 are usually the best numbers to use to reduce. So can 2 go into both of these numbers? Yeah, it could. So divide both by 2, divide both the numerator and the denominator, divide this proper fraction. Remember, it's a proper fraction because the numerator is less than the denominator. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 100 divided by 2, well, this is $1. Half of $1 is 50 cents. There it is. Before you say, oh, I'm done, always ask yourself again, could you reduce these two numbers by either 2 or 5? Hopefully you said 2 again. So let's divide by 2. Divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, while 50 divided by 2 is 25. Okay? This is just reducing. This is simple elementary school math. Ask yourself again, could I reduce this number by a 2? No. Maybe a 3, but 3 doesn't go to 25. So my final answer is 3/25. So this 12 over 100 could be reduced all the way to 3/25. This will give you full credit on an exam or quiz. This one will give you half credit because you have to reduce it. And that's it. That's how you convert a terminating decimal into a fraction. Let's do one more. Well, two more. Let me erase this. Okay, so we have number 2, negative 3.4. Oh my God, I have a huge number in the front. Okay, huge number. Don't be scared. Ignore this number right here. You don't need this whole number. Okay, just focus on the digit after the decimal. So if I cover this up, what place value is that 4 in? Hopefully you said the 10th place. So the only thing you're going to do is this. You're going to do 4 tenths. Boom. Now what you have to do is think about, can I reduce? Remember my two famous numbers are 2 and 5. Can 2 go into 4 and 10? Yeah, because they're both even. So divide by 2. Divide by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then go ahead and ask yourself again, can you reduce this to numbers by either 2 or 5? That's it. That's the most simplified fraction. A lot of you guys are like, oh, I'm done. No, you're not. What about this negative 3? That's your whole number. That's your negative 3 is the whole number. Simple. This is what you do. Grab this, whoop, put it in the front of the fraction. That's it. Negative 3 in the front. So your final, it's not 32, okay? Don't get it mixed up. So your final answer is negative 3 2/5. And you're done. As easy as that, peeps. Super simple. Let's do one more. Man, these are easy, I'm telling you. 8th grade math is extremely easy. Well, let's see if this one's easy. Number 3. 0.355. Dang, a lot of digits here. Simple. Look at the last digit. It's the 5. What place value is the 5? Well, here we go. Values are the tenths, hundreds, thousands. So therefore, this is going to be 355 thousandths. There it is. If you write that down on a test or quiz, you're pretty much done. But you have to reduce as much as you can. And believe me, I'm always going to give you a decimal, a terminating decimal that you could reduce. Now, a lot of you guys are probably asking me, well, what about the 0, Hernandez? Well, you could put the 0 there if you want, but honestly, to tell you the truth, you don't need it, okay? And anyways, if this was like a 5 or a 3 or a 6 or a 12, that would have been the whole number that goes here. So let's start reducing. Okay, so does 2 go into both of these numbers? Well, 2 only goes to even numbers. I know 355 is an odd number, so it should be 5. Oh, man. 5. Simple. Usually the trick I always do is this. I always start from here. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So 71. Simple. 1,000 divided by 5. Well, I recognize a 10 here, so I just cover these two zeros. 10 divided by 5 is 2. How many zeros did I cover? 2 zeros. Boom. There it is. Can I reduce it by 2? No. Can I reduce it by 5? No. You could think about reducing it by other numbers. Believe me, it's not always going to be 2 and 5. You could use 3, you could use 4, you could use 6. But in this case, this is the most simplified answer. And that's it. Your final answer is 71 over 200. Okay? Simple. What would happen if this had a 5 there? It's the same thing. The only thing you do is this. Look. Grab that big fat 5, which is your whole number, and it's going to be 71, 200. You're done. That's it. Or what would happen if you would put a negative 5? Oh my God, it's a negative. It's the end of the world. Just put a negative there and you're done. So that's how you convert a terminating decimal into a fraction, okay, and a reduced fraction. Okay, on the next video, we're going to be working on repeating decimals, which is an extra thing that you need to do, but to tell you the truth, it's almost the same process. So once again, if you didn't understand one of these problems, rewind, check out the video again, and I'll see you on the next video.